Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at Gastrodon with the buffed Mudslap in the Open Great League. This Pokemon is actually fairly decent and you're going to see it here today as well. I did not really expect too much from this Pokemon, but honestly, I feel like especially in like limited metas, this Pokemon most likely going to have a lot of play. But let's take a look at some battles here. We're going to have a very lame team here. We're going to have a triple buff team basically, with the Vigoroth as a Say-So and the Talonflame in the lead. This is kind of some standard team here, but usually you would see some other kind of Mudboy in the back, like the Wishcast we're currently facing, or something like a Swampert. But today we're going to take a look at the Gastrodon. And Gastrodon is going to be a very interesting Pokemon, as it's now going to be able, I think, to get a little bit faster to the body slams. I think you need one less fast move, which is actually huge, and it's definitely by far the best Mud Slapper for the Open Great League. I'm curious on how good Golurk would be, but we might take a look at this one later. But here we're gonna get kinda hardwalled from the opponent. Sadly, they're still going to have the Guzzlord against our Talonflame here. They're going to be able to get to another charge move, and I'm forced to use a shield, as I will be able to reach or fly against the opponent. Now, this should get the knockout here for sure, but as you can see as well, they're still going to have their Venusaur on the back, and the Venusaur has quite a lot of energy, and I have to hope they can reach another fly in time. But as you're going to see now, the opponent is able to reach the Sludge Bomb, but we got them fairly low with the buffed Incinerate damage. But as you can see now, we can go back into our Gastrodon, and yes, we can actually outspeed them. So Gastrodon going to be able to knock out a Venusaur in the Open Great League, and we can move on to the next game. Let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have an amazing lead here of the, Skarmory in the lead. I don't know why the opponent stays in here, but I'm totally fine with this, as I'm going to be able to go for a charge move with the Flame Charge, going to be able to not get the knockout because they use a shield, but I'm fairly certain I can just go ahead and go for the full Farmland afterwards. They're gonna go for the Brave Bird, so one more fast move is all it takes, and we can now get a very nice advantage with our Talonflame. And it looks like that Talonflame is very strong against the opponent's team, so at this point, why not try to sweep with it? We're gonna be able to go for a fly, gonna get the knockout against the Swampert, but I just want to have a great clip for a good shot, and as you can see here, the opponent is gonna get farmed down by our Talonflame, and in comes a Trevenant, and we can say goodbye to this one, and Talonflame was all we needed to win an entire game here. What the hell? Let's move on to the next opponent. We're going to see here a little bit of the issue for a lot of teams in the current Great League meta. It's going to be Dragonair. I honestly have to say, in a lot of teams that are also maybe still coming up, I had a lot of issues with Dragonair to deal with this Pokemon, because it is just very strong in the current meta, and I might make a video myself about this one. But we're going to be able to encounter here a Lanturn against us, which is kind of fine, but also kind of not. I would have liked to have this Pokemon against my Gastrodon, but like this, I'm going to be able to just go for another Body Slam and to try to realign at this point. I think I can just realign if I want to, by going for a shield here, and I should be able to just go for one more counter. And so I am one shields down, but I should be fine to at least align my Pokemon. But as you can see here, the opponent is running the Azumarill in the back, and there is no lot that we can do about it. I can still go into my Talonflame. I have to hope that they're not running Hydro Pump here, but if they're on Hydro Pump, I'm just going to forfeit here immediately, and this is exactly what's going to happen. So let's move on to the next one. Next game coming up, we're going to have a lead that I don't really like to face, actually. It's going to be the Golbat. Golbat is going to be a little bit of a guessing game, which is always a little bit awkward. This could be a Shadow Ball, this could be a Poison Fang, and it's sadly a Shadow Ball, which is the right call from the opponent, as this is going to get us very low. I'm still going to go for one fly and gonna get the shield from the opponent, but I decide to swap out now into my Vigoroth. I have to take a charge move, but a one more Body Slam is all it takes to knock them out, as we can go for the Body Slam now. This should be kind of fine for us still, but again, yeah, kind of an awkward spot here. We have a shield advantage at least, and we're gonna see the Marshtomp coming in. An interesting Pokemon that got buffed as well recently, I think, with a Mud Bomb buff, like 2 seasons ago or something. So it's definitely still a solid one. It learns Surf as well as Sludge, I think. So very interesting Pokemon there. But they're going to have a Trevenant in the back, which is going to be a little bit of a scary Pokemon to face for us. We can still maybe try to win this game. I can try to catch a move here, which works out really well onto our Talonflame. This is going to be the Seed Bomb, still gonna knock us out here, but we kind of forced the swap out into the Gastrodon. And honestly, this game was a little bit sad, which you're going to see soon as well. I can still go for a Body Slam against the opponent, forcing a shield from them, and like this, it's actually looking kind of nice for me. But as you can see, they of course can just go for a charge move and knock me out here. But I was trying to go for a Body Slam here, and you saw me clicking on it, but I guess I lost like CMP or something, and so we're gonna lose this game there, and we can move on to the next one. Kind of sad that we didn't get off the body slam because we actually would have been able to win this most likely, but let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have a Whiscash here, which is most likely going to be one of the worst possible Pokemon to encounter for this team. Mudboys in general are going to be a little bit tricky for this one, as our lead does not really appreciate it. Our Save-Swap is very decent against them, but also our Pokemon in the back is going to be, usually at least, not the preferred Mudboy, as the Mud Bomb, or like the Mud, what's called Mud Slap, is not really as ideal compared to Mud Shot. But here we're going to be able to still go for some body slam spam against the opponent. I could definitely see Mud Slap getting another buff by either damage or energy. Both of them would be definitely fine and would be balanced. But here we're going to be a little bit in a difficult spot. I can still go for a Flame Charge and even go for one extra fast move, which is going to be nice. So we have now a buff Talonflame against whatever they're going to have in the back. And it's going to be the Magcargo. Out of all possible Pokemon, it's going to, like, honestly, like, what is this team? We're gonna get completely hardwalled here, but from what kind of team are we gonna get hardwalled? From a Shadow Venusaur on the back, a Magcargo, and I forgot the Whiscash, I think it was. Like, what is this? Like, honestly, I don't even understand it, but it is a complete hardwall to our team. Algorithm is striking again, which of course doesn't really exist, but still a nice excuse for losing a game here, right? We're going to be able to still go for a Fly, but the Fly will not be enough, and so we're going to take the loss here, as they can just go for either the Stone Edge or the Rock Tomb, depending on what they're going to run here. Rock Tomb is also fine for them, and we can move on to the next game. Next opponent, again another horrible lead here and having the Guzzlord against us. Guzzlord going to be a very strong Pokemon actually in the current meta, I feel like, but we were able to get an extra free fast move in, and this is going to be amazing, as we can just go for another Fly now, and Fly is coming through against the opponent. As I'm going to save my Talonflame, we have kinda, it's not really an A-B style, but you kinda want to keep your Talonflame alive, just in case there's going to be like a grass type lurking in the back, but we were able to knock out the opponent before they were able to even go for a charge move. They tried to catch a move here onto the Whiscash, as they reveal their entire team. I can now try to play around this one. It's going to be not as ideal either yet, but we can still have a little bit of a try at least. We're going to be able to go for a body slam here against the Whiscash, as they go for their own charge move. I kinda want to keep my Vigoroth alive, because Gastrodon is not going to do too much damage against the opponent's Talonflame, so we kinda have to hope that Gastrodon might come in clutch later on, as like maybe some sacrificial swap here coming in, which is going to be amazing. It's going to be the Flame Charge. It is going to be the resisted Flame Charge, and we can still reach the body slam, forcing the opponent to use a shield against our Gastrodon. And so we are going to be in a fairly decent spot here. I can let this move go through. They still have a shield left, and they're going to have a buffed attack stat now, which can be a little bit tricky. But I can use a shield here, and I will be able to hopefully reach 2 charge moves here. It's going to be a close one, but maybe I don't even have to, because I still have that Fly stored, and my attack stat of my Talonflame is very high, so we're going to be able to win this game fairly easily here, and we can move on to the next one. Next opponent coming up, we're going to have a Lanturn against us. We can swap out into the Vigoroth, as we're going to see the Medicham swapping in against us here, which is going to be okay. I can use a shield, or I can use, like, it's actually not really okay, and to be fair, like, it's completely hardwall what I'm telling you here. I can still go for the body slam, but it's going to be a tough one. It's definitely going to be a tough one here. We can go for the body slam, going to be able to do some decent damage against the opponent, but they are still going to be able to go for the full farm down. At least they don't run Psychic here, right? Like, Psychic is something that nobody is running anymore. Exactly. I think there's double buffed Psychic there. Let's go for another charge move. Like, it's looking really good for me right now. They definitely didn't have a hard counter in the lead, and hopefully they don't have another hard counter in the back. Yeah, what a game. Let's take a look at the next opponent. Again, Dragonair is something that I don't really like to face. Good thing here is we would be able to outspeed them with our Vigoroth, but the opponent makes a great swap into the Mandibuzz, knowing that we were forced to basically throw immediately with like our body slam there. But we can take a move from the opponent's Mandibuzz. They're gonna go for the Dark Pulse, and I can go for the Rock Slide. And as the opponent decides to let this move go through, I can see that I can go for the full farm down if I use a shield here, and that's exactly what I'm gonna go for. Because if they're gonna go back into their Dragonair afterwards, I can still reach a body slam for sure, but they have a Lanturn in the back, which makes this a little bit of an interesting one, because we have the Gastrodon, and Gastrodon is definitely the right matchup here. But can Gastrodon actually carry us throughout the entire game is the question, and it's going to be an interesting question, because we can go for the body slam here, and let's see if this is going to force a shield from the opponent. It does, and so we can go for no shield against them here actually, because I kind of want to knock them out most likely later on with my Talonflame, and we can still reach this charge move here with the Gastrodon, keeping it alive just so we can survive some sparks later on as well. And now I just have to reach the Fly, and as I still have a shield left, I should be fine here, right? I can go for my charge move, and they win the CMP tie. The worst possible thing happens here. It's super effective, but it's not enough. Not enough to knock us out, and we can still go for the fly in order to knock them out, and they can farm me down. But can Gastrodon farm them all the way down? Gastrodon is able to do that, and Gastrodon is the MVP here. Let's take a look at the next opponent coming up. We're going to have the Gligar against us in the lead, which is fairly decent for me actually. Especially as I don't know how to time their fast moves correct. I was able to get in a free fast move in, which is amazing, but they need to swap out here. I think it was an Azumarill, nothing else is running bubble, it is an Azumarill, and I can swap out into my Gastrodon. Gastrodon will have a positive matchup here after we got some damage onto them earlier on, so it is looking fairly decent here. We're going to be able to take this player off for sure, and I'm just going to go straight for the Earth Power. A Body Slam would not do enough damage, Earth Power does even not enough damage either, but we're going to be able to go for the full farm down, and so we can still reach some Body Slams against the Gligar, and maybe they think I have a Water type move, and I guess they do exactly this, as we're going to be able to reach another Body Slam afterwards. This is going to be amazing for us. I'm going to mostly let this move go through though. I can swap out, try to go for the Fly. I didn't want to give the opponent too much farm there, even though they already had a lot of farm there in my opinion. But I can try to go for the maybe full farm down here with the Talonflame. They go for another Aerial Ace and they decide to swap out into the Sableye. This is a crucial mistake as we're going to be able to reach one Fly. We can go for another fast move and we can reach another Fly, which is going to do a ton of damage against the opponent here. Fly is a very strong move as you can see, and we can even reach another one. Talonflame going to town, Talonflame gonna get the knockout, and we can swap out into the Vigoroth as the opponent decides to forfeit. Final game for today. If you enjoyed this video, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I have to kind of say that, otherwise I'm gonna get some problems with other people, so definitely do that. We're going to see here the Walrein against us. A very rare Pokemon to be seen, but we're going to have now access to Rock Slide, which is going to be very good for us, as they can now go ahead and get the knockout against the opponent. The Superior is coming back in and the Body Slam is coming through, going to do a ton of damage against them as well, hopefully, as he can try to reach another Body Slam afterwards. Let's see if we can get there. Nah, we're gonna let this move go through. It is Talonflame time. It's time to sweep here, as the opponent swaps out into the Lanturn, and so Gastrodon is on the perfect position to lock in this game. Smacking down those Lanturns is just so nice with a Mud Slap. We're going to be able to just go for another Body Slam, force the opponent to use a shield, and we just gonna go to town here. We can let the move go through. The Surf is not gonna do too much damage there, and we can just go for nearly the full farm down as I even reach another charge move. And at this point, even the Talonflame is in prime position to go for a full sweep, as they decide to go, I think they still have the Superior in the back, let me know. Yeah, it is. So I can just go ahead and go for the swap. And of course, for the final game of today's video, we have to go for the no shield flex. And also, all the belts I did with this team, by the way, were on this video, so there was nothing cut out. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.